Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to draw your attention to something we often take for granted: our bones. These silent structures hold us upright, protect vital organs, and serve as reservoirs of essential minerals. Yet, most of us only think about bone health once it's compromised, when we hear terms like osteoporosis or experience a fracture that takes too long to heal. Leafy green vegetables are among the most nutrient-dense foods available, and their role in bone health is both profound and scientifically grounded. These vegetables, such as kale, spinach, collard greens, bok choy, and turnip greens, are especially rich in calcium, magnesium, and vitamin K, all of which play critical roles in maintaining and enhancing bone structure. Calcium is the most abundant mineral in the human body, with nearly 99% of it stored in bones and teeth. While dairy is commonly cited as a primary source, leafy greens offer a powerful plant-based alternative. For individuals who are lactose intolerant or avoid dairy for other reasons, greens become a cornerstone for calcium intake. Notably, certain leafy greens like bok choy and kale offer calcium that is more bioavailable than that found in spinach, due to lower levels of oxalates that can inhibit calcium absorption. This means that the body can actually use the calcium from these vegetables more efficiently. Magnesium, another mineral found abundantly in leafy greens, supports bone health by regulating the transport of calcium across cell membranes and participating in the structural development of bone. It also influences the activity of osteoblasts and osteoclasts, the cells responsible for building and breaking down bone tissue. Inadequate magnesium intake is associated with lower bone density and a greater risk of osteoporosis over time. Magnesium works synergistically with vitamin D and calcium, and deficiencies in one often compromise the effectiveness of the others. This interdependent relationship emphasizes the importance of getting a broad spectrum of nutrients from whole foods, and leafy greens provide a naturally balanced combination. Vitamin K, especially in the form of K1 found in green vegetables, plays a crucial yet often overlooked role in bone metabolism. It activates osteocalcin, a protein secreted by osteoblasts which is essential for binding calcium to the bone matrix. Without sufficient vitamin K, osteocalcin remains inactive, impairing the bone mineralization process. Research consistently shows that higher dietary intake of vitamin K is associated with improved bone density and a reduced risk of fractures. This is particularly relevant in aging populations where bone remodeling slows and microdamage accumulates over time. Beyond their micronutrient profile, leafy greens also offer phytochemicals and antioxidants that can mitigate oxidative stress and inflammation, two processes increasingly recognized as contributors to bone loss. Chronic inflammation, even at low levels, has been linked to increased osteoclast activity, leading to bone resorption. The antioxidants in leafy greens, including beta-carotene and lutein, help neutralize free radicals that can otherwise damage bone-forming cells. Additionally, their fiber content supports a healthy gut microbiome, which in turn influences the absorption of minerals like calcium and magnesium. Emerging research points to the gut-bone axis as a novel pathway through which diet affects skeletal health, and leafy greens appear to support both ends of this connection. Incorporating a variety of leafy greens into your daily diet not only supplies the essential building blocks for bone formation, but also helps create an internal environment that favors bone preservation and repair. They are a low-calorie, high-impact food group whose benefits extend far beyond basic nutrition, directly influencing the physiology of bone strength, density, and resilience. Fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, mackerel, and herring are nutritional powerhouses with a direct and multifaceted impact on bone health. These fish are rich in vitamin D, which plays a central role in calcium absorption and utilization, and they are also high in omega-3 fatty acids, which modulate inflammation and influence bone turnover processes. The human body relies on adequate vitamin D levels to maintain calcium balance in the bloodstream. Without sufficient vitamin D, dietary calcium cannot be efficiently absorbed from the gut, regardless of how much is consumed. This leads to increased calcium withdrawal from bones to maintain critical functions like nerve transmission and muscle contraction, weakening skeletal integrity over time. Fatty fish provide one of the most bioavailable sources of dietary vitamin D, offering a solution that is both natural and highly effective, especially for individuals who have limited sun exposure or live in regions with low sunlight. In addition to vitamin D, these fish offer high-quality protein, which is essential for the maintenance of the bone matrix, a collagen-rich scaffold that gives bones their flexibility and tensile strength. Adequate protein intake is associated with increased levels of insulin like growth factor 1, IGF-1, a hormone that stimulates bone formation and helps maintain bone mass during aging. Furthermore, the omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish, particularly EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaid acid, have been shown to suppress the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines that accelerate bone resorption. Chronic low-grade inflammation, even at levels that don't produce obvious symptoms, has been identified as a significant contributor to age-related bone loss. By reducing systemic inflammation, omega-3s create a more favorable environment for bone maintenance and repair. There is also emerging evidence that omega-3 fatty acids can influence the differentiation and activity of osteoblasts and osteoclasts, the two cell types that regulate bone remodeling. Specifically, omega-3s appear to promote osteoblastogenesis, the formation of new bone-forming cells, while inhibiting osteoclast-mediated bone breakdown. This dual action contributes to a net gain in bone mass over time, especially when paired with a diet rich in calcium and physical activity that stresses the bones in healthy ways. Sardines in particular offer an added bonus. They are consumed whole, including the tiny bones, which are rich in calcium. A small serving of canned sardines can deliver both vitamin D and calcium simultaneously, making them a uniquely efficient food for supporting skeletal health. Beyond their micronutrient and fatty acid profiles, fatty fish also contain other supportive compounds like selenium and vitamin B12, which play auxiliary roles in maintaining bone density and overall metabolic health. Selenium, for instance, acts as an antioxidant that protects bone tissue from oxidative damage, while B12 is involved in cellular regeneration, including the turnover of bone cells. The nutrient density and biological synergy present in fatty fish make them an ideal dietary inclusion for individuals seeking to preserve bone strength, reduce the risk of fractures, and support overall skeletal integrity throughout the lifespan. Dairy products such as yogurt, milk, and cheese are among the most concentrated and bioavailable dietary sources of calcium, making them foundational for bone health across all age groups. Calcium is the primary mineral found in bones, accounting for approximately 70% of their weight, and it plays a crucial role in giving bones their structural. The form of calcium found in dairy is particularly well absorbed by the human body, often outperforming plant-based sources in terms of bioavailability. This makes dairy a reliable and efficient way to meet the daily calcium requirements that support bone mineralization, density, and repair. Alongside calcium, dairy provides high-quality protein, particularly casein and whey, which are essential for maintaining the collagen framework of the bone matrix. Protein not only contributes to bone strength and resilience, but also stimulates the production of hormones like IGF-1, which promotes bone formation. Yogurt, especially Greek yogurt, is a standout in the dairy category due to its combined benefits. It offers high levels of calcium and protein while also containing probiotics, which support gut health. A healthy gut environment has been increasingly recognized as a factor in nutrient absorption, including minerals critical to bone health such as calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. This gut-bone axis suggests that consuming probiotic-rich dairy may indirectly improve bone health by optimizing the internal conditions necessary for efficient nutrient uptake. Additionally, fermented dairy products like yogurt and some aged cheeses provide vitamin K2, a less commonly discussed but vital nutrient that directs calcium to the bones and prevents it from accumulating in soft tissues such as arteries. Milk, often fortified with vitamin D, delivers a two-pronged benefit by not only supplying calcium, but also aiding in its absorption and integration into bone tissue. Vitamin D enhances intestinal absorption of calcium and phosphorus, ensuring that these minerals reach the bones where they are needed most. In populations where sun exposure is limited, fortified milk becomes an important tool in maintaining adequate vitamin D levels, which in turn supports long-term bone density. Cheese, particularly hard cheeses like cheddar and Parmesan, are also dense in calcium and protein, and because they are low in lactose, they may be suitable for individuals with mild lactose intolerance. In addition to calcium and protein, dairy products contain a variety of other bone-supportive nutrients, including phosphorus, magnesium, potassium, and zinc. Phosphorus works closely with calcium to form hydroxyapatite crystals, which are the mineral structures that give bones their rigidity. Magnesium regulates calcium transport and bone metabolism, while potassium helps neutralize metabolic acids that can leach calcium from bones. Zinc is involved in collagen synthesis and bone tissue regeneration, further highlighting the multifaceted nutritional profile of dairy. The synergy of these nutrients delivered in a naturally balanced form makes dairy products an especially effective and practical component of a bone-strengthening diet. Their regular inclusion within a diverse and nutrient-rich dietary framework provides both immediate and long-term support to the skeletal system. Nuts and seeds, particularly varieties such as almonds, chia seeds, and sesame seeds, are compact yet powerful sources of nutrients that play a significant role in supporting and maintaining bone health. These foods are rich in several key minerals that directly influence bone density and strength, including calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and zinc. Almonds, for example, provide a notable amount of calcium, which contributes to the mineralization of bone tissue and helps prevent bone thinning over time. While the calcium content in nuts and seeds may not match that of dairy products on a per-serving basis, the unique benefit is their combination of supportive nutrients and healthy fats, which contribute to overall nutrient absorption and metabolic balance. Chia seeds and sesame seeds stand out for their impressive concentrations of calcium and phosphorus, both essential for building and maintaining the bone matrix. Chia seeds are also a plant-based source of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, which have been shown to reduce inflammation. Chronic inflammation, even when mild, can disrupt the balance of bone remodeling by promoting the activity of osteoclasts, the cells responsible for breaking down bone tissue. By counteracting this inflammatory process, the omega-3s in chia seeds help maintain a healthier rate of bone turnover, reducing the risk of net bone loss over time. Sesame seeds, especially when consumed in their whole form or as tahini, are high in both calcium and magnesium. Magnesium acts as a cofactor in hundreds of enzymatic reactions, including those involved in calcium metabolism and the structural development of bone. Beyond minerals, nuts and seeds are valuable sources of plant-based protein, which supports the formation and maintenance of the collagen matrix in bone. This collagen framework gives bones their tensile strength and flexibility, which are essential for preventing fractures. Protein intake is also linked to the stimulation of growth factors such as IGF-1, which supports bone formation. Furthermore, these foods contain healthy monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats that help modulate hormone levels, including estrogen and testosterone, both of which are vital to bone preservation, particularly during aging and hormonal transitions like menopause. Zinc, another critical nutrient found in significant amounts in nuts and seeds, plays a key role in bone regeneration and the synthesis of collagen. It supports the proliferation and differentiation of osteoblasts, the cells responsible for building bone. A deficiency in zinc has been linked to impaired bone growth and delayed fracture healing. The presence of trace minerals like copper and boron in seeds further enhances their bone supportive properties. Copper aids in the cross-linking of collagen and elastin fibers within bone, contributing to its structural integrity, while boron has been shown to influence the metabolism of calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. Fiber, another component abundant in nuts and seeds, supports gut health, which is increasingly recognized as a key factor in nutrient absorption. A well-functioning gut microbiome enhances the uptake of bone-building minerals and reduces systemic inflammation. This gut-bone connection further reinforces the value of nuts and seeds as everyday staples for long-term skeletal health. Their versatility allows for easy incorporation into meals, whether as snacks, toppings, or blended into smoothies, ensuring consistent nutrient support for bone maintenance and resilience. Eggs are an often underestimated yet highly valuable food when it comes to bone health due to their dense concentration of essential nutrients that contribute to bone formation, maintenance, and repair. They provide a rich source of high-quality protein, which is critical for the development and upkeep of the collagen framework in bone tissue. This framework acts as a scaffold upon which minerals like calcium and phosphorus are deposited, giving bones both strength and flexibility. The protein in eggs is considered complete, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids in optimal ratios for human health, supporting not just muscle integrity but also the metabolic processes involved in bone regeneration. One of the most significant contributions of eggs to bone health lies in their vitamin D content, specifically found in the yolk. Vitamin D is crucial for facilitating the absorption of calcium from the digestive tract into the bloodstream. Without sufficient vitamin D, calcium cannot be properly absorbed, no matter how much of it is present in the diet. This can lead to calcium being pulled from the bones to maintain necessary blood levels, eventually resulting in weaker bones and increased fracture risk. Eggs are one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D, making them especially important in regions where sun exposure is limited or inconsistent. This is particularly relevant during the winter months or for individuals who spend a majority of their time indoors, as the body produces less vitamin D without adequate sunlight. In addition to vitamin D, eggs provide several B vitamins, including B6, B12, and riboflavin, all of which contribute to bone health in indirect yet important ways. Vitamin B12 in particular has been associated with higher bone mineral density, and deficiencies in this nutrient have been linked to an increased risk of osteoporosis, especially in older adults. B vitamins also play a role in controlling homocysteine levels in the blood, an amino acid that, when elevated, has been associated with reduced bone strength and increased fracture risk. By supporting the biochemical pathways that regulate homocysteine, eggs help create an internal environment that favors bone stability. Eggs are also a natural source of phosphorus, a mineral that works in tandem with calcium to build and maintain the structural integrity of bone tissue. Approximately 85% of the body's phosphorus is stored in the bones and teeth, where it contributes to the formation of hydroxyapatite crystals, which are responsible for the hardness of the skeletal system. Choline, another nutrient found in eggs, supports cell membrane integrity and may influence bone metabolism through its role in methylation and other biochemical reactions that regulate gene expression involved in bone turnover. Beyond these nutrients, the fat content in egg yolks aids in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, including vitamins D and K. While eggs are not a significant source of vitamin K themselves, their dietary fat facilitates the utilization of vitamin K from other foods consumed alongside them. This is important because vitamin K plays a role in activating osteocalcin, a protein required to bind calcium to the bone matrix. The combination of protein, essential vitamins, and bioavailable minerals in eggs positions them as a versatile and nutrient-dense food that supports the complex physiological processes underlying bone strength and resilience throughout life. Fortified foods, including plant-based milks and breakfast cereals, have become an increasingly important part of modern nutrition, especially in supporting bone health for individuals who may have dietary restrictions, preferences, or limited access to traditional sources of key nutrients. These foods are specifically enhanced with vitamins and minerals such as calcium, vitamin D, and sometimes vitamin B12 and magnesium, all of which are critical for the development, maintenance, and repair of the skeletal system. For people who do not consume dairy, whether due to lactose intolerance, veganism, or personal choice, fortified foods provide a reliable alternative to ensure adequate intake of essential bone-supportive nutrients. One of the most common fortified products is plant-based milk, including almond, soy, oat, and rice milk. These beverages are often fortified with calcium to levels comparable to or even exceeding that of cow's milk, providing a convenient and accessible source of this vital mineral. Calcium is the most abundant mineral in the body, and nearly all of it is stored in bones and teeth, where it contributes to structural strength and rigidity. The calcium used in fortification is typically in the form of calcium carbonate or calcium phosphate, both of which are readily absorbed when consumed with food. Consuming fortified plant milks alongside meals enhances absorption and helps maintain consistent levels of calcium in the bloodstream, reducing the likelihood of the body drawing calcium from bone stores to meet physiological needs. Vitamin D is another crucial nutrient added to fortified foods, and it plays a central role in facilitating calcium absorption from the gut. Without adequate vitamin D, the efficiency of calcium uptake drops significantly, regardless of dietary intake. Many people struggle to maintain optimal vitamin D levels due to limited sun exposure, particularly in colder climates or urban environments with indoor lifestyles. Fortified cereals and plant milks that contain vitamin D bridge this gap and help sustain the hormonal and metabolic pathways that regulate bone remodeling. This is particularly important in aging populations, where the skin's ability to synthesize vitamin D declines, increasing the risk of bone demineralization and fracture. In addition to calcium and vitamin D, some fortified cereals also include magnesium, phosphorus, and zinc nutrients that support bone metabolism at the cellular level. Magnesium assists in converting vitamin D into its active form, which in turn enhances calcium absorption. Phosphorus is a major component of hydroxyapatite crystals, the mineral matrix that provides hardness to bones. Zinc supports the activity of osteoblasts, the cells responsible for forming new bone, and contributes to the synthesis of proteins that make up the organic component of bone tissue. Some fortified cereals are also enriched with vitamin K, which is necessary for the activation of osteocalcin, a protein that binds calcium to the bone matrix and enhances mineralization. The controlled nutrient profile of fortified foods makes them a reliable way to meet daily requirements, especially when combined with a varied diet. They offer consistency, accessibility, and ease of integration into meals, making them particularly useful for individuals with specific dietary needs, children with selective eating habits, or older adults at increased risk of nutrient deficiencies. Fortified foods are not simply convenient substitutes, but valuable nutritional tools that contribute directly to the physiological processes involved in maintaining bone density, strength, and long-term skeletal health.